Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye and today I'm doing an updated Shop My Stash. I'm just gonna jump right into it because we have a lot of products to talk about and a lot of thoughts, so let's get started. The first product in the Shop My Stash is the Becca Barley Sands bronzer. This is my favourite bronzer in my collection. I absolutely love it. I am working on expanding this pan and I think I will be keeping this in the next rotation as well. Now the first blush that I chose is the Melt Digital Dust Blush Duo in Buzzkill. This is one of the B blushes that they came out with. I use this a decent amount and I will say I have mentioned it a few times on my channel that I'm not the biggest fan of this because even though I do enjoy this side of the blush, this side has micro glitter in it and you can see the glitter on your cheeks and it's just not flattering. I tried to mix both shades together but mostly focus on this shade and it's nice, just not worth the price in my opinion. I did get some good use out of it. As we can see, I'm wearing down the imprints really nicely, but I don't really want to use this right now. It's an okay blush. I wouldn't recommend you buy it. I'm glad that I did get some use out of it in this rotation, but I'm looking forward to try some other blushes. The other blushes that I had in this rotation were my Lethal blushes. I had a joy using these. Oh my goodness. These are my favourite blushes in my collection, especially Nectar, my #1 blush in my collection. I used this a shitload. It worked with all the palettes that I chose. I wore Tendril quite a lot, especially this light orange shade. This was beautiful. I'm still very surprised that I have not hit pan in Nectar right here. I feel like the pan should be coming soon because I have used this so much. This is one of those products where I have to force myself to use other things because I just want to use this one, so I will be putting this back into my collection and picking out some different blushes. But I had a really great time using those Lethal ones. The highlighter that I chose is the Kaleidos Diamond Dasher highlight. It looks like this. It's a pink gold duochrome sparkly highlight. I wore this a shitload. This is one of my favourite Kaleidos highlights and I'm wearing it today. It just looks so wet and I love the duochrome sheen in it. It works with so many different looks, both grungy and more like softer looks. I really love this a lot. Like, I love it so much. I don't think I'll keep it in this next rotation, but this was a joy to use. Alright, we're moving on to eyeshadow palettes. This first palette is the Oden's Eyeliner palette. This is the neutral palette that I chose. I use this palette a lot for work, so I don't have that many pictures to show you because, quite honestly, in the morning I don't really feel like taking pictures, and it's a neutral look, so I don't know, I just don't get excited by neutrals that often. But I did do a look using these 3 yellowy golds, and that look was beautiful. I love that so much. This yellow in this palette is so good. I love the shimmers in here. Very good for every day, and I did get a lot of use out of it in this rotation. This next palette is the Ace Beauté Flare, and I didn't use this as much as I hoped that I would. I did use it a good handful of times, and I did film my first look for my 3 Looks 1 Palette Plus review with this one. However, I haven't filmed the other 2 looks, so hopefully those will come soon. Even though this palette is super inspiring to me, I didn't really reach for it as much as I hoped that I would. I think I just chose too many eyeshadow palettes for this rotation. Sometimes I feel like doing more eyeshadow, sometimes less, and I feel like this rotation was a bit hit and miss. It was a bit hit and miss, I cannot lie. But I love the formula of Ace Beauté. It is so good. The mattes especially are so great. The metallics, they're alright. They're nice. They're not super high shine and glittery that I personally like, but it's a good palette. It's very solid. The final pre-made palette that I have to show you is my beloved, the Lethal After Dark palette. This was so much fun to play with. Oh my goodness. This color story is so inspiring to me. I love the metallic formula in this one. I did do a video where I reviewed pretty much every formula that Lethal offer, and I mentioned that I absolutely love Lethal's mattes. Their mattes are my favourite in my collection, I'd have to say. They're so good, super pigmented. In my Get Ready With Me video, I used this palette and I really liked the look that I did. It was so fun. This is the palette in this rotation that I really wanted to keep in, but I have some other ones that are more newer to me that I wanted to get some use out of. But this is a solid one. This was so much fun to play with, super inspiring, just an all-around fantastic palette. Now, every rotation I like to include a few single shadows that I want to focus on, and this was my rotation right here. We have Devinah Soda Swamp, Terra Moon's Zero Gravity, JD Glow Good God, JD Glow Unexpected, JD Glow Watermark, and Cleona Abrasion. In all honesty, I didn't use these 2 shades that often, but I used Good God and Unexpected so much for work. These were the perfect shadows to just throw a couple mattes in the crease, one of these all over the lid, and it was so simple but super effective. Every time I wore the JD Glow shadows to work, I got a shitload of compliments. They get the people talking, what can I say? And I will have a video showing some new single shadows in my collection because I will be including these JD Glow ones in that video. I liked the iridescents too, I get a lot of use out of them. I'm actually wearing Soda Swamp on my inner corners today. Now I had 3 lip products in this rotation. The first formula are my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb creams. Now I love the colours. I have Honey Waffles and Cookie Jar. These colours are beautiful, however I must say this formula is different to the regular Fenty Beauty Gloss Bombs. Obviously, the Gloss Bomb cream, it's gonna be different. Now this formula is a lot thinner than the Fenty Beauty original Gloss Bombs, which the Gloss Bombs are one of my favourite lip gloss formulas ever, and I really hoped that these would be the same. I find that especially with Cookie Jar, since it is a deeper colour on my skin tone, that I do need to be a bit more careful when applying it because it can turn streaky. The lasting power on these isn't the best. I do like these though. I will continue to use them because these colours were great, especially to pair with the Ace Beauté Flare palette. Fantastic combination. But I must admit the formula isn't a top favourite for me. And that's really sad, but I still do like it enough to keep them. If you're thinking about the Gloss Bomb creams, just get a shade that's unique to you. I don't think that they're that necessary. And the last lip product in here is one that's sentimental to me. This is the Pat McGrath Dare to Bear lip gloss. This was a gift from my friend Tyra and my first Pat McGrath product as well. This is a very beautiful sheer like milky gloss with a gold sheen. It's very pretty. It's not too light on the lips. It was very good when I wanted to do some light and airy looks. It complemented all those looks very nicely and I really enjoyed this a lot. I really enjoy the Pat McGrath lip gloss formula. It does have a scent to it. The Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb creams do as well. This one's a bit... it's very sweet. Like almost sickly sweet. I like the formula. The colour is very unique. I don't think I would ever buy Pat McGrath glosses, to be honest. Full price, they're just a bit too expensive for me, but I do enjoy this one. But now let's go on into the products that I'm going to be picking for this next rotation. Now I have an idea of what I want to do for this next rotation. I don't want to pick out too many eyeshadow palettes because I am going to be doing a Pride graphic liner series, so I want to mostly focus on that. But I have a few ideas of what I want to pick out next, so without further ado, let's go on into picking the next rotation. Alright, so as per usual, we're sitting on my floor and let's get into the drawers, shall we? I've just adjusted the camera angle a little bit so you can see things a bit better. I know this corner is a little bit cut off, but these are the face powders, so I mean, it doesn't really matter. As per usual, I'm not picking any base products because I already have a very limited amount anyway, so I don't really feel the need to pick them out. Bronzer, like I mentioned in the intro, I want to keep my Becca Barley Sands in this rotation. I just love this so much, and I'm so upset that Becca's shutting down because this is the best bronzer I've ever tried and it's so good, so I want to give it the love that it deserves. I don't want it to just sit in my drawer and collect dust. Now for my blush, I've been super inspired recently to pull out my Fenty Beauty. They're really squeezed in there, Jesus. It's like giving birth to blush. I really want to pick out my Fenty Beauty cream blushes because these are just so beautiful. I have the shades Daiquiri Dip and Strawberry Drip. I will show you what these look like right now, but I'm just gonna warn you, they look a little bit gross because I use my brushes in them and obviously brushes carry dust, so yeah, not the most appealing. This is Strawberry Drip. I'm wearing this on my cheeks right now. I absolutely love the formula of these cream blushes, the best creams I've ever tried, and they work beautifully over powdered skin. They last all day, perfect if you have oily skin and you want to get into cream blush. I really want to use these a bit more. Especially with the looks that I have planned, these would complement really nicely. And I like how small they are, they're so cute. I don't think I'm gonna pick out anything else from this drawer, so let's move on to the next one. This drawer has my eyeliners and some other bits and bobs. As we can see, my eyeliner collection has grown exponentially. Now for this rotation, like I mentioned earlier, I want to focus on doing more liner looks, so I'm not going to pick out that many eyeshadow palettes. Anything else in here that I want to pick out? Any loose pigments? I do want to pick out this. I want to use this loose pigment in Andromeda. This is from the Pastel Roses and it's my favourite flaky loose pigment and I want to use it more, so I'm bringing that one out again. I really like that one a lot. I also have my Kaleidos highlighters here. I have all of them in their collection except for the reformulated Mars Melter, and I'm not going to pick any of these either for highlight. I have another palette that I want to choose. Now, as per usual, my lip drawer is complete and utter chaos. I've just accepted it now. I'm not going to apologize for it because it's just a mess. I don't know what I want to do for lips. Hang on. This is gonna bother me so much. I need to put this back in. How do you guys store lip products? Because this is just not doing it for me. I think I'm gonna whip out my Kaleidos lip glosses, these two. I have the shades Dramatize and Hypnotize. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it on camera super well, but I have like almost finished these glosses, and these are like two of my favorites in my collection. I absolutely love this formula. I'll definitely repurchase these once I run out, especially Hypnotize. I mean, look at that. You can kind of see the, I don't know if you can see. I'm like really far down, so I want to get some use out of these. I definitely want to get more use out of these and see if I can maybe like eventually pan them, because these are great glosses. Fantastic. I think that's all I'm gonna pick out for this drawer. I just want to close it. I just feel embarrassed. I don't like it. Now in this drawer, I store my Shop My Stash stuff and some single shadow palettes, but for highlight, I keep my highlighter palette in here for some reason because it's the only place that it fits. This is the Oden's Eye Eleva 2 highlight palette, and it looks like this. I want to use this so bad, especially this shade Salamander and this one right here. These are beautiful highlighters. I really like the formula and want to get more use out of it, and I think these would pair really nicely with the blushes. Okay, time for everyone's favorite section, and that's my eyeshadow palette drawer. Again, I don't really like how this is stored, but this is the best I can do. I'm sorry. Now, before I pick out any eyeshadow palettes, I want to show you the singles palette that I have, and this one is really sentimental to me. Basically, I did a gift swap with my good friend Katie, Freddie Makeupery on Instagram. I love her to pieces. Oh my gosh, I love her. So we did a gift swap and she made a custom palette for me, and she's put all these stickers and my name on it. It's so cute. And let me just show you. This is me in a palette. Look at that. These are all Glam Shop shadows, and I will do a video with this palette because this has a bunch of different formulas from Glam Shop that I haven't tried before. And since I'm not going to be doing many eyeshadow looks, I want to just focus either on this and one more palette, so this is the first one I'm going to be picking. The other palette I'll be picking in this rotation is my newest palette in my collection, and that's the Nabla Cutie palette Coral. I have been wanting this since it released, and my friend Tyra was selling it, so I bought it off her because it was very lightly used. And just look at it, it's so cute and pretty. One of the prettiest £6 palettes I've ever seen. I've used it twice so far, and I really enjoy it. It's the same Nabla formula that I know and love. It's got a couple of neutrals that I can wear for work. This is great, and I think this will pair really beautifully with this singles palette. I mean, look at that. It's like they're made for each other. How fucking adorable. So I think that's gonna be everything that I pick for this rotation. So let's go and put everything in this drawer. This is a very pared back rotation compared to the last one, but I am so inspired to use this. I'm really excited, especially by this palette. I promise that I'll get that video up as soon as possible because how can I not? It's so... I mean, I have to show you again. How absolutely gorgeous is that? I go through phases where sometimes I like really pared back, Shop My Stashes, and sometimes I want more variety. This time I'm really happy with how pared back this is. As per usual, ignore the background, it's messy, but that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do let me know what's in your Shop My Stash. I'd love to know. I really enjoyed talking with y'all about what you're using in your collection at the moment. If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, then follow me on my Instagram. It's beautyybyskye right here. I post all of my looks there and I'm active on there every single day. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here, and as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!